talked pretty much all year. The offense was really hampered by the offensive line, defense really hampered by the secondary. Can you kind of drill down on the quick on both sides? I mean, if you would, let's start with the defense.
Well, defensively, I thought our front played better. Our inability to cover and tackle in the secondary killed us. That we just gave up so many big plays, and we gave up so many plays that the other team would just throw a 4-yard hitch, and because we couldn't tackle, it became a 12-yard play. And the only way to take care of that is internal competition. We redshirted 4 or 5 guys in the secondary, and it's going to be, you know, when you have the record we did, it's going to be a competitive offseason, and jobs are going to be open. And a lot of the guys that we redshirted are going to have an opportunity to win jobs. And one of two things will happen. They'll either pass the guys that played, or that competition will push the guys that played to elevate their play so the same thing doesn't happen. But, you know, clearly we've got to get better in the secondary. You know, there's a number of freshmen that we redshirted, Vaughn McCoy, Jude, Ajabarima, Rylan Ward, Justin Ford, Tyler Williamson. I mean, there's a number of guys that I think are going to add competition to that mix and make us better. And there was freshmen that played a lot this year. I mean, Boo Boo Gates played as a true freshman. Aaron Foster played as a true freshman. Cam Truss played as a redshirt freshman. So between the young guys that played for the first time, getting better because of the experience, and the 5 or 6 guys that we redshirted in the secondary, adding depth, adding competition, to me, as bad as we were, there's no way we don't get better at that position. That has to happen, and it will. And again, I think our front, we have the makings of a good front. I mean, I love the fact that Chris Jones is back, Kevin Alvarado's back, Jarris Campbell had a very good year playing as a freshman. Ted Ouellette is going to be a good player. You know, we redshirted guys there, Brian Thomas, Darius Gilbert, Charlie Walker. Ronnie Goebel got hurt at the Troy game. I think he really would have helped us. He got hurt the first game of the year and missed the whole season, which hurt us. He would have given us great depth at end. Very excited what Boo Boo Gates is going to be at our rover position. Dwayne Woods was all conference as a true sophomore. Paul Swan got to play as a freshman. I'm very excited about DJ Lynch and Gabe Martin, guys that would have played this year as true freshmen except they got hurt. I mean, DJ Lynch would have played this year, but before camp he tore his MCL in an all-star game. And certainly the second half of the season, he was playing at a level that could have helped us. And Gabe Martin was in our 2 deep, and we were going to play him, and then he broke his hand in practice. So guys like that have me very excited that, you know, number one, and I said this all year, the one thing that we've lacked in our program for 2 years is internal competition. You know, when guys don't have to drive players to be great, there's got to be that threat right next to them every day saying if you don't bring your best, you're not having a job. Or they've got to be incredibly self-motivated. And we have not had any internal competition in our program for 2 years because of our numbers. And I'm very excited this spring because we're going to have finally internal competition at a lot of positions. And the same thing's going to happen on offense.
And if you would, let's switch to offense a little bit. I mean, the offensive line really was the catalyst for a lot of problems, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we were poor. And at the same time, I really have a hard time faulting the guys that played because they were not ready to play. I mean, you know, Jordan Russo moved over from the D-line. Jordan played his heart out and put so much into it. He didn't even have a preseason camp at the position he played. You know, Ben Boychuk was going to be the glue that kept it together, and he missed more than he played. Dominic Fluellen, as a true freshman, played well, got better every week. You know, but your offensive line is the hardest position to play early. And, you know, was he ready for it? No, but he competed and he gave us great effort. And there's no way he's not a better player next year for the experience. So, you know, really the only guy you lose is Tyler Donahue. Okay, so 4 of your starters are back. And again, we redshirted 4 guys at that position. And that's a position we need to add to in recruiting. Certainly the depth is not going to be there that we need, but we'll certainly have more stability and more competition there than we've had the last 2 years at the position. You know, tight end, I'm very excited. I mean, Alex Baer, you know, probably as much as anybody in our program you clearly saw his level of play elevate the whole season. I think he has a chance to be one of the best tight ends of the MAC, but I'm also excited because Tyler Beck played as a true freshman. We redshirted Clay Rolfe and Kendall Montgomery, that based on what they did on scout team, you know, if Nick Reiki was hurt this year, those two guys both could have helped us. And with Nick as a senior, we decided to redshirt him. But those guys both showed great promise that they can be very good players here. So, you know, my goal is I want to run the ball more. And, you know, you can't run it any worse than we ran it this year. We were the worst team in the country running the football. But when you're hurt on the O-line and you don't have a tight end that can set the edge, and I believe we'll have those things at a much better level in our program next year.
Will you talk a little bit about the skill positions? At wide receiver, you're going to lose some guys.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing
lose
is
some guys there all around.
We're going to lose Tyrone Prunty and Calvin Wiley, but those two guys weren't healthy the whole year.
Right.
I mean, what Calvin and Tyrone, what we hoped they would give us and what they gave us, it wasn't close. And again, I don't fault them. Their effort was great. Those two were hurt the whole year. But you look at that position, you're bringing back a first-team All-League receiver in Kamar Jordan. Certainly Eugene Cooper, as the season progressed, played more and more and did some good things. You know, Adrian Hodges, Ray Hudson, Justice Jones, Sean Joplin started playing at the end, and we redshirted 3 guys there as well. You know, so again, the theme is we're finally going to have numbers in competition. And wide receiver, as long as we stay healthy, I think that position will be better. So, you know, certainly we'll miss Willie. But Hopgood got a lot of time, and we've got John Pettigrew, Eric Geiger, and Jamel Martin was a true freshman that we redshirted that I think will add a lot to the mix. And, you know, Shilsey got a lot of experience this year, but I'm very excited about Trent Hurley. Trent, you know, won the backup job this year with only having 1 camp. And, you know, certainly the competition and depth at that position is going to be better than we've ever had it here.
You've mentioned competition a lot. Is there any position where there won't be competition for a job next year?
I mean, some of the guys that earned all conference, I would have a hard time seeing those guys if they continue on their path. I mean, Kamar Jordan clearly got better and is a first-team All-League player. Dwayne Woods got a lot better and is a playmaker, and Chris Jones. Certainly those 3 guys, it would take a lot to beat them out. But you know, I don't think you can run a program and ever say that anybody's job is safe. Great programs have competition every day, spring, off-season program, running, conditioning, fall camp, and that's what we want our program to be. That if you don't show up and give your best every day, there's a chance that somebody's going to take your job. And I don't think you can go through a year like this and say anybody's job is you know, hey, everything's status quo. We got to have competition and promote that to raise the overall level of play in our program.
Will you kind of walk us through what the program is through, you know, when will spring drills begin? I just kind of walk us through.
The program started Monday. They were lifting. We told them that the 2011 season started, you know, 3 days ago. So we're getting ready for Idaho. And we're going to be on a hard charge, and we're going to keep that. You know, when they go home over break, they better be working, because when they get back, I mean, it's not going to be an easy off season.
How many days are they coming in now, or?
They're coming in, you know, 4 days a week, okay, and then we'll during finals, it'll be open hours that we don't make it mandatory, but you know, getting stronger and playing isn't mandatory either. So, you know, guys need to make sure they're working, and we certainly need to finish strong in finals and make sure that we don't have attrition for academic reasons. And then when they go home, they need to be working. They need to be running. They need to be lifting. The only way you gain experience and gain strength is by working at football. And those guys need to be doing it. And then when they get back in January, it's full speed ahead.
When will you start your spring